Throughout history, assassins have played pivotal roles in shaping political, religious, and social landscapes, sometimes driving momentous change through acts of targeted violence. The term assassin itself originates from the 11th century Islamic sect known as the Hashashin, or Nizari Ismailis, whose leaders dispatched their followers to eliminate prominent enemies. However, assassinations stretch back long before this group and continue into the modern era with various motivations and methods. Here is an overview of notable assassins and assassination events across different historical periods. 1. Classical antiquity. Brutus and Cassius, 44 BCE. Perhaps the most famous political assassination in ancient history, Marcus Junius Brutus, along with other Roman senators, assassinated Julius Caesar. The assassination was fueled by fears that Caesar was consolidating too much power and aiming to declare himself king. This act, despite its intentions, led to the end of the Roman Republic and the rise of the Roman Empire under Augustus. Harmodius and Aristogeiton, 514 BCE. Known as the tyrannicides of Athens, these two men assassinated the tyrant, Hipparchus. While they failed to overthrow the tyranny completely, their act became symbolic of the struggle for Athenian democracy. 2. Medieval period. The Hashashin, 11th to 13th century. A secretive Islamic sect based in Persia and Syria, the Hashashin used assassination as a tool to advance their political religious goals. They operated under the leadership of Hassani Sabah from their mountain fortress of Alamut. Targets were typically rival political and religious figures, and the sect became notorious for their willingness to die for their cause. Thomas Becket, 1170. Becket, the Archbishop of Canterbury, was murdered by knights loyal to King Henry II of England after a long dispute over the power balance between church and monarchy. The assassination shocked Europe and led to Becket's rapid canonization as a martyr. 3. Renaissance to early modern era. Guy Fawkes and the Gunpowder Plot, 1605. Although Fawkes is often associated with the Gunpowder Plot, the assassination target was King James I and the British Parliament. The conspirators planned to blow up the Houses of Parliament in protest against the treatment of Catholics in England. The plot was foiled, but it remains one of the most famous assassination attempts in history. King Henry IV of France, 1610. Henry IV was assassinated by François Ravaillac, a Catholic fanatic who opposed the king's policy of religious tolerance towards Protestants. Henry's death resulted in the continued religious and political instability in France. 4. 19th century. Abraham Lincoln, 1865. One of the most significant assassinations in modern history, Lincoln was shot by John Wilkes Booth, a Southern sympathizer, just days after the end of the American Civil War. Lincoln's death had profound consequences for Reconstruction in the United States. Tsar Alexander II, 1881. Known as the Tsar Liberator for his emancipation of the serfs in 1861, Alexander II was assassinated by members of the revolutionary group Narodnaya Volya, the People's Will, who believed that his reforms were insufficient to address the needs of the Russian people. His death accelerated the revolutionary fervor in Russia. 5. 20th century. Franz Ferdinand, 1914. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria by Gavrilo Princip, a Bosnian Serb nationalist in Sarajevo, sparked World War I. This event is one of the most consequential assassinations in history, as it triggered a chain reaction of alliances leading to the global conflict. Mahatma Gandhi, 1948. Gandhi, a leader of India's non-violent independence movement, was assassinated by Nathuram Godse, a Hindu nationalist who disagreed with Gandhi's policies of religious tolerance, particularly towards Muslims. Gandhi's assassination marked the end of an era in India's fight for unity and peace. John F. Kennedy, 1963. The assassination of U.S. President John F. Kennedy in Dallas by Lee Harvey Oswald, though many conspiracy theories suggest other players were involved, stunned the world and is often viewed as a watershed moment in American history. The mystery and the national trauma surrounding the event have kept it in public consciousness for decades. 6. Modern-day assassinations. Indira Gandhi, 1984. The first and only female Prime Minister of India was assassinated by her Sikh bodyguards in retaliation for her ordering military action at the Golden Temple in Amritsar, a sacred site for Sikhs. Her death led to massive anti-Sikh riots across India. Benazir Bhutto, 2007. Bhutto, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, was assassinated in a bombing and shooting attack during a political rally. Her death intensified political instability in Pakistan and highlighted the dangers faced by reformist politicians in regions plagued by extremism. Common themes in assassination history. Political motivations. Many assassinations are politically motivated, targeting individuals who wield significant power or represent controversial changes, as in the cases of Lincoln, Gandhi, and Franz Ferdinand. Religious fanaticism. Religion has often been at the heart of assassinations, from the medieval Hashashin to the killing of Thomas Becket, up to modern figures like Gandhi and Henry IV. Nationalism and extremism. Nationalist movements and extremist ideologies have driven numerous assassinations, whether it's Gavrilo Princip in 1914 or Nathuram Godse in 1948. Symbolism. Often, the assassination is less about the individual and more about the symbolism of their role in society. This can be seen in the assassination of kings, religious leaders, or revolutionary figures. Assassinations have always been tools wielded by those seeking dramatic change or revenge, aiming to destabilize political systems or influence the course of history. Despite their often tragic outcomes, assassinations continue to be a significant and sometimes deeply symbolic method of altering the direction of nations and societies. Expand your knowledge and wisdom through short film documentaries like this one you just watched. Subscribe to The Philosopher's Canvas on YouTube and support us with a like and a comment. Until next time.